Up here are the Nightfarers. So these are the characters and the classes that you're going to be picking in Elden Ring Night Rain. The poster boy is Wilder. So he's the all-rounder. His stats are all-rounder. He can use basically everything because the stats are tailored to their well, basically their personalities. Because we've got a Guardian here, so this is going to be the person who's going to have like the great shields and everything out. It's going to take all the aggro off the whole team. There's going to be more strength in there. There's going to be more endurance and everything like that. So the Wilder can use this shield and take all the hits while the rest of the team just attack the enemy. We've also got Iron Eye, which is your Hawkeye, the Archer, the Legolas, everything that you want in an archer. Quick dexterity, uses bows, can also, because it's dex as well, you can use katanas as well. Just very, very quick weapons. This one is, I would say, the easiest one to pick up. It's the easiest one to pick up, and definitely, if you want to learn the map, just jump in with an Iron Eye and have a look at the map and everything like that. But we'll go through that in a bit. We've got Duchess. Duchess, this is my favourite. This was my favourite one. She's absolutely awesome. She has an ability called Restage. So basically, eventually you'll get a relic as you go down the line. The longer you play, the more you unlock. But basically, it will actually activate Restage without you activating it as a skill. But you have to have a dagger in place. So I always keep a dagger on her just to attack, and it will constantly restage. Then when that's done, you can then use your restage. So you've got 2 restages for 1 there, basically. So she's pretty awesome for stuff like that. We've got Executor, which is more if you love Sekiro, then this is the style that you're going to be playing. Dual wielding your katanas. You've also got an ability called Cursed Sword, which is going to deflect enemy attacks. So this is just basically something where you're parrying everything, and then you're counter-attacking once your energy has been stored up with the Cursed Sword. This one is, I think, if you can get hold of Elden Ring and the way it plays, this one's going to be the one that a lot of people are going to solo these Night Lords. Let me know if anyone plays Executor. Recluse is your mage. Okay, this is really, really awesome. There's so many different combinations of magic cocktail. So magic cocktail is the ability it's got. So every time you use magic or your teammates use magic, you can what's it called, residue. You can claim the residue of these magics, and you've got the 3 slots in the triangle. And once it's full, depending on what elements you've used, whether it's going to be sorcery, fire, lightning, etc. Depending on what you've got, you can then create the magic cocktail as your ability, and then some of it heals you, some of it kind of protects you. Most of it is going to attack as well. So this is really, really cool to use, but she's very squishy. So learn what magic you need to collect as you go through, and also remember what magic your party members have. But also make sure you've got some tankier players with you, a Wilder, Guardian, or a Raider as well, just to take up the damage. We've got Revenant as well. Revenant, I absolutely love Revenant. She uses Necromancy, which is she's got 3 different summons. So she summons the undead, but she's also got a passive as well, which is obviously the Necromancy there. Raise enemy ghosts to fight as allies. So every time you beat a mob or just an enemy in the field, you have a very slight chance of reviving that enemy afterwards, and that will fight with you. It won't fight for too long, maybe a minute, maybe less, but it's still going to help you, especially because before every single mini boss or day boss, shall I say, you're going to have mobs of enemies. You're going to have mobs of enemies that are going to come at you, then you just defeat them, then the actual day 1 or day 2 boss will appear. You actually have a chance of reviving those mini enemies for you to fight for a minute or so against the main boss, which is pretty cool. I love this one. We've got Helen, Frederick, and Sebastian. They're the name of the summons that she's going to summon for you guys. They all do different roles as well. One of them's really, really quick. So if you need, if you've got like a bunch of enemies that you need someone really, really quick to fight, you know, with daggers and stuff like that, like the Duchess, you're gonna summon Helen. If you need a big tanky guy who's just gonna swing his axe or his club, shall I say, and take out an area of enemies, then Frederick's the one that you want. But then Sebastian is the big skeleton guy. We'll go through it because I love Revenant, so I'm going to show you her stuff. But Sebastian is the one that takes all the aggro off everyone. It's the big, massive skeleton that you may have seen in the in people's clips or in the trailers. And this one is going to take aggro, especially. It's really, really good, especially for mini bosses and bosses, because they will focus on Sebastian. They've all got their own health pool, and you have ways of using relics and items to buff them as well. So she can attack as well. So she can attack as well. She could use staffs and also incantations, same as the Recluse. The Recluse obviously is your mage, but she's going to be the more mage than the Revenant. But Revenant can use stuff like that. But I use the Claw. I use the Claw with her, but she can use incantations and staffs as well. So she's if you play her well, like, she could use everything. She could use everything. She's absolutely awesome. And the last one here, guys, this one is called Raider. Raider's absolutely awesome in dealing big damage and protecting the team. Obviously, I mean, you could use shields with him, but I mean, that's the role of the Guardian. But he just deals massive damage, and he's also got like a big totem stellar that he is the ultimate art's called, where he'll create that in the middle of nowhere. And if you've got a Recluse, if you've got a Iron Eye, you jump both of them on top of this totem and use your range without being hit because you're up in the sky. It's an absolutely amazing platform, but that's not the only reason why it's there. It actually gives you a damage boost as well. So anyone in the area, it gives them a damage boost. You'll see the kind of red light around the totem. So as long as you're in that area, you'll get a damage boost, which is absolutely crazy. So what you want to do, though, you can obviously pick them here, but you can actually go into this little area here. So this is where the smithy would be. In Elden Ring, the smithy would be here, okay. You go to the characters, and in the characters list here, I'm gonna move my thing back up here because you'll see the names. You'll see the names over here. So you can see Wilder here, and we've got the scaling as well. We've got the scaling down there. So it's got A as HP. Obviously, with Elden Ring, S is the highest scaling we've got. So it's quite decent. It's going to have a lot of health. So all these Nightfarers are going to have different health pools. Okay. So this is going to be really, really good. This is why this is the all-rounder. Okay, because it's got strength. It scales with strength A and dexterity B, so we can use the the great swords, colossal weapons, everything like that, and also the katanas. A and B obviously is a bit of a difference, but it's still playable, okay? And everything else is all C, so it is viable to use everything else if you want to use sorcery and stuff like that. Wilder is the all-rounder. We've got Stamina's B as well, and the FP is C. So if you're going to be using a Wilder who's going to be tankier because he's got more HP. If you're going to be using that as like a sorcerer or a mage style thing, then definitely get some more FP. Guardians here. So Guardians HP is S. It's S class, which means has the most health, and that will scale as you go through the levels as well. Okay, so as you go through the levels, you're going to have more HP. That means you're going to be able to block more, defend more. You're going to help your team out. You're going to get the aggro because you are, bigger and tankier. Then the rest of your teammates can then do their damage while you're just holding your shield up and taking the aggro off the enemy. That is why this is a S scaling for HP, because that is what the Guardian needs. Stamina as well, because stamina is going to affect every time you block, every time you get hit with the shield. It's going to affect your stamina as well. So we've got an A scaling there. Now, so the weapon is a halberd, but it's got a strength scaling of B. So we can still do some damage. We're attacking, but we are obviously mainly holding that up. Obviously, you know, when you get better at the game and you actually know the enemies you're fighting and that, you won't have to defend as much. You could just go straight in with attack. But like, you know, it's scaling there with strength as B, so you can use a whole range of weapons. But it prefers halberds because you can use them along with the shields. Dexterity C. So again, C, Arcane and Faith as well. So, you know, you can, if you want to use the katanas and quick weapons, you can do, but it's C, but it's not really worth it. You want to be using the stronger weapons and the heavier weapons for Guardian. Iron Eye. Okay, so HP and FP is C. I don't really use the FP much with Iron Eye, if I'm honest with you, but it does scale with Dexterity, which we're talking about the katanas and bows. Are definitely the weapons you need for Iron Eye, but it also has B for Arcane. So Arcane is going to be all the dragon abilities, but also the abilities where we've got bleed builds, or if you want to do a poison build, anything like that, anything that we're going to inflict procs onto enemies. This is going to help with Arcane. So definitely get yourself a weapon. It's the same. There'll be another character in a minute as well. There'll be a same with another character as well. So if you want to inflict poison on another enemy or anything like that, definitely be focusing on those kind of weapons, because the Arcane will help you out with the scaling of B. We've got loads of stamina there because we're just constantly shooting your arrows, which is absolutely awesome. It's a very, very quick character as well. And like I said, we'll go through the abilities for this character because I will jump into a solo with him. They've got an ability called where they basically mark an enemy, and it creates a weak point for you and your team to attack that enemy, and it does increase damage. I have a relic, so you'll get this relic as you play through the game. I have a relic where you can mark twice. So when you're marking, you're actually dodging an attack as well. So you're phasing through attacks. So it's like it gets like absolutely crazy when you learn Iron Eye and you get the extra mark as well on top of that. But he's definitely one. He's the one that I soloed. So I soloed the first Night Lord with Iron Eye. I got to the last quarter of health of the third Night Lord solo with Iron Eye as well. So it's definitely someone that you want to be looking at to learn the game with. Not just learn the character, but go in and to learn the maps. But we talked about that earlier. Duchess is absolutely awesome. Okay, so we've got intelligence. So we're talking staff sorcery, stuff like that. So it's going to scale with that. Also uses faith. So we can use incantations and everything if we want to. Dexterity's B. So B for dexterity and faith. So we can use incantations. We can use katanas, bows if we want. But mainly I use my dagger because I'll explain when we go through Duchess that she has the ability when using a dagger to use reprise over again, which is awesome. Or restage, shall I say. I keep calling it reprise. It's restage. So yeah, so you can use sorcery as well. So always have a staff with the Duchess. But remember, if you've got the restage, the preference there says dagger. And that's the only weapon it will use that ability for, so that you can get 2 lots of that. Okay, so it does tell you here, it has Duchess highest dexterity and intelligence, allows her to fight with combinations of sorceries and weapons, which is absolutely awesome. She's very, very good at dodging as well. Okay, she's got cartwheel dodges and everything like that. She's probably the best one for dodging. Her area her evasion area is absolutely massive. Raider, okay, Raider, as you know, big tank. Look at that, look at a massive tank, and his strength scaling with S, which means he uses all of the big weapons. He does prefer great axes, great hammers, and colossal weapons. You can use whatever you want with him, but if you want to get the best out of him, you want to be using those weapons because that's what he prefers. So obviously, Guardian has an S scaling for HP. Raider has an A scaling for HP, so it's still quite high, same as Wilder. Loads of stamina as well with A. You can use other weapons with him if you want to use, like I said, if you want to use... you can make the game as easy and harder if you want. Okay, if you want to go into a game of Elden Ring Night Rain with a Raider but only use magic, that's up to you. That's putting the that's testing your skill level. Okay, so that's something that I'll do at the end of, down the line. I'd love to do something like that. But it also tells you, if you go into this menu, it tells you what it's going here. Boasting high HP and strength, his poise allows him to stand firm. So he's got loads of poise as well, so he's not going to be pushed back as much as the rest of the characters. Revenant. Okay, so Revenant's the next one. She's absolutely awesome. She's got loads of FP because she scales with Faith, which is incantations. So this is where we're getting the seals. So we need the seals for her. Obviously, intelligence is B, so we can still use sorceries and everything like that. And arcane, we can still use the dragon community and stuff. But ideally, we want to be using, if you get the relic for it, you want to be using the claw for the relic, because successive attacks gets her FP back, which then she can then use her Faith incantations for, which is S scaling. So she's like really, really good with incantations. But she's the one that we told you earlier. She's going to have to use her family, they're called. Sebastian, Helen, Frederick. They're the ones that she's going to summon, and then she's also going to do some damage as well. So, but you can't summon all the summons at the same time. You can only summon one at a time. They've all got their own health pool as well. So just keep managing the health pool. We'll go through that later on through this stream. But she's absolutely awesome. I love the Revenant. But she's HP is D, so her scaling for HP is terrible. Eventually, you'll get relics or items down the line that will boost your starting HP for these characters for every single run. Recluse. Recluse is your mage, so her FP is absolutely high. FP is A. We've got Intelligence S and Faith S. So using incantations and also sorceries, staffs, seals. That's what you're really looking for. We also have rises where we can go. Well, I've called them Spire on a TikTok, but we can go to there and we can get staffs and also magic abilities. To use for the Recluse. So the rises are where you need to go if you're playing a Recluse, but I'll point them out as we go through the map, because there are 9 different ways of opening a rise, which is really confusing sometimes. But if you're going to main a Recluse, you're going to know every single way, because you'll be doing this on every single run, because you want the best weapons. Obviously, HP is D as well. It's the same as Revenant there. So we've got low HP. We're going to be really squishy as well. So we're wanting a Wilder. I say this all the time. Wanted a Wilder, Guardian, or Raider just to take the tankiness off us, and then take the aggro off us as we're doing that. Again, we talked about the magic cocktail, which is her main thing. So if you're going to main Recluse, just remember what cocktails you need, okay? What elements and affinities you're going to be absorbing, and try and get them within your party, whether you've got them or the rest of your party got them, so you can make these powerful cocktails. Okay, and the last one is Executor. We talked here, Dexterity S, okay? Arcane S. This is what we talked about earlier with Iron Eye. So, Katanas, bleed builds, so obviously bleed is going to proc with the arcane scaling, okay? So we've got an S for dexterity and arcane, so we want to be inflicting as much damage and bleed and poison or anything like that onto an enemy. So get your weapons with these status effects on them, because it will massively help, especially with certain bosses as well. There's one Night Lord that is susceptible to poison. So if you've got a Executor with, 2 poisoned katanas, you're kind of laughing really, because it stops it mid battle just to throw up, and then that gives the rest of the team time to actually attack the enemy, which is absolutely awesome. It says preferences katanas there, but again, if it's scaling with dex, you could actually use bows with it if you want to. So anything that scales with dexterity, you can look in this. This is just the character section. There's a weapon section as well, and it tells you what that weapon scales to, whether it be strength and dexterity. It will tell you that. So the HP is B. Stamina is B as well. It's going to need a lot of stamina because I'm going to be quick attacking as well. And then the FP is D, which we're not really going to be using abilities as such. I know Arcane is like the Dragon Community and stuff, but it's you're not really going to be using that, because you want to be focusing on your parries and also your double katanas.